The ACT or the SAT are both two standardized tests that all high schoolers take, as is a form of measuring college readiness and is used in college admissions. Getting a high score in either can lead to more recognition, scholarship opportunities, and getting to your dream college. Now, here are three main differences between the ACT and the SAT. The first difference is time. The ACT values speed, and it usually has easier questions as a result, while the SAT usually goes more in depth on questions, but it gives you more time. On the SAT, you have an average of 1 minute and 22 seconds per problem, while the ACT has around 57 to 58 seconds, so the ACT definitely values speed. So if you're someone who is a faster test taker, I recommend the ACT, but if you're someone who values having more time on the SAT and you would be able to do harder questions, I recommend the SAT. The second biggest difference is the subjects covered in the SAT versus the ACT. The ACT has 4 sections: English, reading, math, and science, although the science is optional, while the SAT has only 2 subjects, reading and math, but there are 2 modules for each. If you're not as good as math, I recommend taking the ACT because it's only 1/3 of your total composite, while the SAT, the math would be 1/2 of your total composite score. The same thing goes if you're better at grammar and reading. I would also recommend taking the ACT because that's 2/3 of your test, while on the SAT it's only 1/2. However, if you're good at math and you want to be able to use Desmos, I would highly recommend taking the SAT because math is 1/2 of your total composite score and you're allowed an online Desmos during the test, which is very helpful. I would say the third biggest difference is the level of difficulty on the problems. On the SAT, you get 2 modules for math and 2 modules for reading, and the way it works is that if you do better on the first module, your second module will be harder and you'll be able to get a higher score. However, if you don't do as well on the first module, then you'll get an easy module and you'll be capped at a certain score. However, on the ACT, everyone gets the same set of questions on the different forms, and it doesn't matter how you do in the beginning of the test, as it won't dictate the types of questions you'll get on the end of the test. It's the same for the whole section. So those are the biggest differences between the ACT versus the SAT. I hope whoever's watching that might have helped you in deciding whether to take the ACT or the SAT. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye!